If you have been around YouTube for long enough, you would have heard of this word.
Slop videos out there.
I always slop.
But it's generally referring to completely AI-generated content, usually in the form of shorts, but there have been cases for long-form content as well. But even outside of AI, there are many contents that could be considered as slop. The worst of these offenders? In the drama and commentary niche, or actually just video essays in general. So let's take a little poke at these guys and see what conclusions we could come up with. AI-generated content is everywhere. And the worst part of it is, it's going to get harder and harder to tell what is AI and what is not. Sora, the AI that is able to generate videos that look real, will make it all the harder to guess whether or not the content you are watching is AI. And even aside from Sora, there is already a lot of AI content, even as long-form videos on the platform.
Absorbed all American publications in
Jarvis Johnson made a video about it on his second channel, and Shrine Night K has made 2 videos about it, with this particular video gaining a lot of views for a channel of his size. But even before that, content mills aren't really rare on YouTube. I'm not sure how many people still remember about this particular channel. At a certain point, they sort of just became incredibly insane in a way. Their crazy ideas have appeared in many different videos, and it also included this man. And yes, they are a content mill. You can check out this video from How to Cook That, or some of Jarvis Johnson's old videos covering these older content mill channels. It wouldn't surprise me if the same company has pivoted to AI-generated content, considering how much easier it is to make those compared to the content that they used to do. And really, they don't even need to edit much at all. Have you seen the way these videos are edited? I also found another channel, simply because I was looking for a video I saw on Bilibili that unfortunately had a Chinese AI dub over it. And after watching Slime's 9K's video on the Movies Explained channel, I did also realize that it was probably also AI dubbed. But too bad I couldn't find the exact video, but I came across a channel that had the exact same kind of presentation that these AI generated channels generally have, and even including the thumbnail as well. To be honest, I don't know why the audio quality is so bad considering that he has just generated it. I have used generative AI voice for my assignments before, and I am a cheapskate, so I just use Google's. And look at how it came out.
Yum fried rice, a modern dish born out of
integration of past continuity into the current timeline. The DC
My guy, where the hell are you getting the audio from? The basement? But if you want a good way to recognize if the content is AI generated, or well, if the channel you are watching is part of a content mill, just pay attention to how much they are uploading per week. Like this channel that I mentioned, while he doesn't have many views, he uploads once about every 3 days, which, considering the length of his video, I would like to remind you that this 13-minute video of mine has a 2.5k script. It basically means that he probably isn't writing the script on his own. And you also have to remember that the process of making videos are long, especially if you're doing a video essay where you have to do a bit of research beforehand. So unless these people are some kind of superhuman, otherwise they are using AI to generate their content scripts. Of course, there's also the uncanny valley of their voice.
Number 27 in 1939. Robin, a youthful sidekick skilled in acrobatics and crime fighting.
There's just something wrong about it. Whether it will be how they emphasize certain words despite technically being in the middle of the sentence, or how it feels like there's a hint of robotic coming through the voice. And another thing about their script is that, like mentioned by Slime, yes, I'm calling him that from now on, is that they don't really elaborate. They don't say more, they don't give more concrete examples, and so they are basically a nothing burger.
In Japan, directors like Akira Kurosawa and Kenji Mizoguchi brought international attention to Japanese cinema with precise compositions, moral themes, and historical narratives. Their films influenced an entire generation of Western filmmakers in the decades that followed.
And the bad thing about these content is that they really gain a lot of views at times. Like even this small channel that does video essays on comics, they get a shit ton more views than I do while putting 99% less effort. Even including the fact that because sometimes I don't know what to put in a scene, I just shove gameplay in there for filler so you have something to look at. To a small creator like me, who also likes to write, this is really sad, but I will keep my emotions to the end of the video. So let's move on to one step better. The creators who are actually using their voice and definitely putting more effort into their content. Or are they? You will see two very familiar faces in this section. Yes, I will be talking about Illuminati, who I will refer to as Blair, and Internet Anarchists. If you haven't yet watched this video by H-Bomber and I know that it's 4 hours long, but honestly if you want to, you should at least put it in the background as background noise. In this video, he goes heavily into details about plagiarism, and specifically plagiarism from YouTubers like Illuminati and James Somerton, who has since left the internet but not before doing...
My intention at the time was to use these as a jumping off point once Nick and I sat down to edit the script, because that's what we would do. I would sort of put in my parts, Nick would put in his parts, and then we would sit down at a table, read through the whole script, and kind of try and make it seem cohesive. But, and here's something I'm sure a lot of people will call a bullshit excuse, I have memory issues because of a head injury from when I was a child. They're actually getting worse. I've talked about it on streams and in videos, so yes, it is real, but some people will call it a bullshit excuse anyway. The head injury is actually what led to me having epilepsy, which is why I can't work.
Well, we're not talking about him, so he's out of the picture. I did actually watch a few of Blair's videos before H-Bomber made his video, and like most people, I just put it up in the background while I'm doing something else, since I just need some noise. But honestly, she does videos on interesting subjects, which is kind of unfortunate considering that she's a plagiarist. As in the type of plagiarist that doesn't even attempt to change up their word too much and just takes whatever their research material was and just reads it out loud.
I realized was that they had rented an area north of Sandals Resort.
It was no isolated island, but an underdeveloped lot just north of a Sandals Resort.
And then effectively photoshopped out the bottom portion of the map to make it look like they were on a deserted island.
They were photoshopping out the rest of the island to make it appear as if Fire K was a deserted island dedicated to the event.
The thing about her content that captures most people is that her voice is somewhat okay to listen to. The topics she usually makes videos about is relatively interesting, and the way her videos are structured are good. It keeps you hooked on, engaged, and you will keep listening to her until the end of the video. Hence why I said that it's too bad that she's a plagiarist. Fun fact, during the scripting of this video, I listened to her video on Autism Speaks, which is an irony considering how much she bashed it during this video, but used it as a reference material in another video of hers. She has since closed off a comment section, I presume after H-Bomber had made his video, and even more on his second channel as well. And she's also generally not a good person. You can watch these videos made by her friends if you're interested in hearing everything for yourself. The funniest thing really is that all of this started because she accused Legal Eagle, who is a real lawyer by the way, of copying her editing style. And what's that editing style? The fucking highlight text! I cannot tell you how stupid that is. Because there are others that have done this way before Blair has done it, and this is such a common editing technique that you can't claim this as yours. It's about as stupid as someone trying to claim that the Omegaverse is their own work. Holy shit. Anyways, I highly recommend Lindsay's video, it's very entertaining. Continuing on to Internet Anarchists, whose editing style is immediately all too recognizable if you had watched a certain someone's videos before, even including the way he speaks.
Cloud. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving.
Of course, he admitted himself that he has heavy inspiration from Sunny V2, so this isn't surprising. In fact, after Sunny V2's success, there have been other channels that edit their videos according to this particular Fox documentary style. I'm not sure what to call it, but I'll call it that then. Considering the seriousness they speak in, it makes their work sound like investigative journalism. It doesn't though. If you want investigative journalism, you should watch Coffeezilla. On December 20th, 2025, Mr. Snowflakes made a video about Internet Anarchists plagiarizing another YouTuber's video. As in, besides a few word changes from the script, he also just one-for-one copied the editing, which is wild, and he made a community post about it. The standard apology, blaming it on someone else, the usual. But then, Mr. Snowflake made another follow-up video on December 25th, mentioning that he had found more videos that were plagiarized, and quite a few came from the same YouTuber, which is really strange to me, but oh well. The kicker is, Internet Anarchist mentioned in the apology post that he had only found one video, that Pacific James Corden video, to be plagiarized. But Mr. Snowflakes had found 6 more, and even one from 2023 where Internet Anarchist was probably still working alone. The thing about plagiarism is that if you found one, especially if said YouTuber has a massive backlog of videos, that means that there must be more than one video that was plagiarized. After all, they have gotten away with it before. Why wouldn't they just do it again since nobody noticed? Another funny thing I noticed but Mr. Snowflakes didn't pick up on, while he was showing this particular comparison, I realized that he brought out Sunny V2, and I was curious as to why he mentioned him, like he was crediting him for finding out the evidence. So I did a bit of digging and looked into the video description, and I found that Sunny has put a link to this video, made by Anna Oop, a drama YouTuber, who posted their video on the subject on October 16, 2021. Sunny made his video on February 10th, 2022, a good 5 months after. The original Reddit post that was made by Emerald's sister was on May 21st, 2021, which is why I found it really funny that he seemed to be crediting Sunny for making the discoveries when in fact others had made it before him. And in the description, Sunny even wrote that he was inspired by Anna Oop's video. Remind me of this particular part of H-Bomb Guy's video that I somehow missed during my few rewatches.
Old form, they're not even doing that. They're watching other drama videos and making their own version. I've seen the compilation I made of Blair copying Dia in like 40 different places at this point, but what's really amazing about it is that it's now crossed the Drama Mill event horizon. So instead of being credited to me, it's credited to the other drama YouTubers the current drama YouTuber got it from. In this instance, the previous drama YouTuber's name isn't even spelled right. That's the level of research we're dealing with here.
No wonder why he doesn't even research it properly. He's just regurgitating other people's content. Some people mentioned that they aren't surprised considering the stuff he was up to back when he used to be a TF2 YouTuber by the channel name of Wamo. And yes, I watched one of his videos to make sure they were the same person. And they were indeed the same exact person.
YouTube videos started to flow in, and with the videos came more players, their Huntington's diagnosis was true, they had still...
He just has a different inflection to the way he speaks. You can watch this old video by Mr. Ceobe about the things that Internet Anarchist has done while he was Wamo. If you want, you could also look up his name on the TF2 subreddit. Drama YouTube is honestly really low quality slop content, since they just find whatever Twitter posts and YouTube comments that they think will fit their video and just read it out loud. Also, while listening to this section, I suddenly get a sense of deja vu, and I remembered that I watched Sunny's video on James Corden before. Of course, Tell Us More has a different way of starting the video and gives out more information, so they aren't a copy either. It's just that some elements just how happen to be intertwined. But since we were on the topic of Sunny V2, let's move off a spot and look at... There are actually quite a lot of people on this list. Basically, many of the drama channels that were popular, like Trisha Paytas and Keemstar, could be placed in this category, and even including people like Moist Critical or Penguin Zero, because their content is technically low effort. Most of the time when there's new drama that happens, whether that will be on Twitter or on YouTube, he will make a video about it very quickly, and it will just be him talking to the camera mixed with a bit of footage. These contents are technically also slop content, since you don't need to put in a lot of effort into just reporting what has happened, which is why they are able to get out videos so quickly since there's not much for you to do. You don't even need to write that much of a script for a video like this, but I understand that Most Critical content isn't entirely drama based, since he also just makes silly videos, so he's not completely in the drama content space.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about! Woo! We're making a unicorn take a shit! Woohoo!
Some of you might say, oh, but what about these YouTubers that make incredibly long videos on drama? First of all, the length of their video means that there is no way that their content could be considered as slop unless they were just padding out the runtime, which would be crazy considering the general length of these videos compared to the videos made by drama channels. And they are generally retrospectives on the drama and basically almost everything that happened during that time. And I know it's crazy watching a 4-hour 36-minute video on everything that happened with Nikocado Avocado before this video was made, but if you just need something to listen to for long periods of time, it's still an interesting video. But of course, since we are on the subject of better package slop, we have to talk about the one drama channel that dominated this genre, Sunny V2. People like the Internet Anarchist and even the YouTuber he copied from, Ryan Pictures, have Sunny V2's tone and editing style, where the video is extremely well edited. A lot of moving visuals, tense music, and incredibly good pacing that keeps the audience hooked. But if you choose to have a better look at the content itself, you'll realize that this is just another form of someone reporting on the drama and not adding much to it. Though there are some of his videos that don't go by this format, but let's take a look at one of his most controversial videos. This one about Eva Chris Tyson before they were revealed to have incredibly bad conduct. So what's the problem with this video?
Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for Mr. Beast's brand.
The way Sunny V2 describes Eva Chris Tyson is that they are just a character in Mr. Beast's videos, as if they can't be a person of their own. My slam dart argument comes from the fact that he says this.
If we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video.
In reference to the fact that Chris was transitioning, which is why I'm going to say that this video is actually just Sunny V2 projecting his transphobia through a more professional lens. When you put a topic like this, and your main argument for making this video is what value would Eva Chris Tyson's transition bring to the MrBeast channel, you're actively dehumanizing said person you're talking about. And you basically think of their transition like a business expense that you should balance out somehow. And if you get a loss, you should just sell them. Damn Sunny Me Too, you make Mr. Beast sound like he works in the human trafficking business. You may say that I'm reading too much into this, and you might be correct, and I might be delusional. But the fact is, the things he has shown on screen, and the fact he said this near the closing of the video,
unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy, forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
Meant that he fully agreed that A. Mr. Beast doesn't approve of Eva Chris Tyson's transitioning, which honestly is not my business, but I understand why people cancel him over it, and B. that Eva Chris Tyson's transitioning was a mistake that they need to be wiped from the Mr. Beast channel. The feel of it is there, but it's not strong enough where you would notice it immediately. And the fact that the most popular comments are the ones that came out after Eva Chris Tyson was outed as a creepy person due to their clearly pedophilic behavior. When you comment something like that on this video, that means that you agree with Sunny B2 as well, especially since everyone is saying that we should apologize to him. We should not. He does not view Eva Chris Tyson as a human. He basically thinks of them as another actor in Mr. Beast's videos, and if they prove to be a problem as a LGBTQ representative, Mr. Beast should just get rid of them. He was basically recommending Eva Chris Tyson to quit on their own. Jesus Christ, Sunny V2. Is Chris a bad person? Incredibly morally questionable and shouldn't be around kids? Yeah. But on the internet, you are either in the wrong or in the right. Also, the comments made no sense because in this video, Sunny V2 has never once said or mentioned anything about Eva Chris Tyson being a bad person, or perhaps they had pedophilic actions. Nope, all he talked about was their transition. So, YouTube commenters, can you all also stop projecting your transphobic opinions, intentionally or not? This is the only video I have found that has some problematic views, but like I mentioned before, due to the backlog of videos, if there's one, there's possibly more. But due to my time constraints and the fact that I'm talking about way too many people, if I find something more, I'll post an update. But moving on, the reason why Sunny's videos get so many views is that besides him choosing interesting topics for content, the editing really helped out with his monotone delivery, which really gives you the sense that you're watching something deep when you're not. So really, what's the problem with YouTube Slop Channels? Technically speaking, if you're just making low-effort content that isn't trying to rot people's brains, there really isn't a problem with it. But the thing is, plagiarism and basically the game of telephone is so rampant that it's extremely easy to make slop content, not to mention the use of AI. I could literally just ask Gemini to help me produce a script that works, and people clearly like it considering the amount of views that these AI-generated video content gets. It's insulting. As a person who writes for fun and has written in fandom spaces before, it's incredibly insulting to see that people get away with AI-generated script, which isn't really that good most of the time. It's also insulting to see plagiarism because you know for certain that this person didn't put in a lot of effort and just ripped off someone else's work, who had probably spent hours on it. And the worst thing is, the topics and the end presentation of their video is genuinely interesting. It reminds me a lot of Internet Historian's video about the cave, which was taken down due to copyright strike from the article's writer. The content itself is genuinely interesting. The story itself is quite interesting and it naturally keeps you watching or even just listening to it. And this is why this all makes me sad when I think about it. Because they had potential. If they had just done their own research, used their own words to tell the viewer what they have found, and paired with their stellar editing, they could have done something incredible. But instead, all we get is just this. Word spaghetti. Means nothing. Or just words that aren't even their own at all. And as unfortunate as that is, Slop on YouTube will not stop. As long as there is an audience, these videos will just keep getting produced. And while that is sad to think about, the moment you clicked off of this video, you will go back to watching these videos anyway. And so, that begs the other question. Why do we love slop content? But oh well, that's a topic for another video. This is Amelia from the Cat and Sport channel, where I make commentary on whatever I am interested in at the moment. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!